Hello, how's it going? So, I want to do a channeled message and not tarot cards right now. I'm a little bit tired today. I was going to do some tarot readings, but as I'm on my walk, I'm kind of just channeling stuff, and I don't need cards at the end of the day. I am a medium, so I'm channeling for somebody in the collective right now that needs a message. So, all day, I've been hearing like really deep-rooted love songs, but like old school ones that played when I was in high school. My friend in the other room had a playlist, and I'm sure it was like 90s hits or something. I just kept hearing all of these songs all day, and every time I was diving deep into the song, like singing it, reminiscing about my own stuff, but it brought me back to a feeling which I have felt before. This reminded me of a time when I was seeing somebody after dealing with a death. So this was like my first relationship after my significant other passed away. And I had this sense of doom and like worry and feeling like things were repeating, almost like Groundhog's Day. Everything was lining up, factors that reminded me of all the tragic things, and I got myself stuck into this rut of being too scared of loss, of grief, of feeling broken. And it ruined an opportunity, it ruined a relationship. I, in that instance, allowed fear to stop me and stop something good in my life. So I feel like, I don't know if you've already done the running or if someone ran away from you, and this is just a message to heal the hurt within yourself, or if you're the one facing something and this would be about love. So you're looking at something that's really great, feels really good, and because of all of the things that you've endured, grief, hardship, brokenheartedness, whatever, you're projecting that past onto this good thing, and you have the potential to ruin it with your fear or miss out on it. So I feel like I was being nudged to remind you that we can't carry our past into the future. And what happened before was destined to happen, and we can't control it, we can't erase it, we can't take it away, but you can't expect, this universe is very vast and it's full of mystery, and it's very rare for things to actually repeat. When I say that, there's certain things that do repeat in your life because you're not learning a lesson. And sometimes that comes from jumping in before you're ready. And I think in this case, you might have jumped in before you were healed, because it reminded me of my past situation, and that's where I was at. But that doesn't necessarily mean that's your current situation. You could have already overcome the fear and realized in yourself that you missed out on an opportunity. You could be there as well. But I just feel like your overall message from all of these music that I was listening to is you feel so deeply, you're entangled and you're excited, and it's giving you feelings that you've buried or felt you were never going to experience again. Some of you might feel guilty for feeling this way. You could feel guilt because someone passed away, or maybe you're still in something and not completely out of it, and you met somebody that could have maybe made you realize that you weren't happy. So you don't necessarily have to be taking actions on anything or actually be with anybody. This could just be something you're mulling over in your mind and dwelling in your heart space. But if it feels so good, and I do feel like in your case it does feel right, it might feel a bit rushed. One, because you could have things that you need to heal from or deal with before you can potentially have this connection. Or, like I said, you're just too fearful of somebody mattering, being more important then it's like you don't want to lose yourself in someone, or you don't want to lose your sanity, or you don't want to get used to having someone there and then have to get used to them not being there and like reshape. I don't know what happened exactly in your past, if it's a death or it was just a deep betrayal, but you lost your compass from it. You lost your capability to see potential with rose-colored eyes, if you will. You're kind of looking at it as a pessimist, and that's very common when you are traumatized, you have relationship traumas. It doesn't necessarily mean you're not healed, but it might mean you're not ready. So some of you are being asked to check that within yourself. Are you really ready for this? Did you back away? Are you hesitating because you're not really ready for a relationship? You're not really ready for a commitment, and that's okay. Because at the end of the day, that relationship I did miss out on wasn't the one for me. It didn't line up in my life, even though it had great potential, even though it felt good. It doesn't necessarily mean it works out. So if you are being pulled to take more time to heal yourself, or that you're just not ready, I would listen to those instincts. But for the others of you who realized you just ran in fear and it's not exactly how you felt, and sometimes you can't go back and fix it because the damage is done, and I don't want you to fret about that, because remember what I said. Even though it seems good and the potential is good, doesn't necessarily mean it's right for you. And sometimes the divine just kind of sideswipes stuff out of your life. But if you're feeling pulled to go back and look more and dive deeper into that, I would. Realize that fear in you. Realize that you're coming from a place of trauma. Nobody wants to be hurt, but we can't project the past on the future. You can't keep copying and pasting your past into what's ahead of you, because one, you're either going to manifest that, or like I said, you're going to miss out on an opportunity because you're too scared of that happening again. When you get in these moments, I want you to look at the why you feel the way you do. Are you feeling pressured or rushed to do things too quickly? Because that's actually a red flag. Are you scared because they don't seem to be telling you things, or there's questionable things that you're curious about? Things aren't adding up, because that could cause hesitation. That's also a red flag. Be mindful of your feelings and thoughts. Are they lining up? Is this anxiety? Is this fear? Or is this fact? Are they being sketchy? Do I not feel ready for this? Like, you have to ask yourself these questions. Check that. That's step one. Step two is then to, don't compare and contrast your past person to your new person. Everybody is a completely different person, but you can look at tendencies that you did not like in your other person, like being sketchy, not responding to, a phone call. Like, maybe it takes them a few days to get back to you. Like, that's sketch. You know what I mean? If those behaviors are reoccurring, that is a repeated lesson. That's another karmic being presented to you. They're not ready, or you have to have that sit down and be like, I'm not comfortable with this relationship because I feel you're being sketchy, or you're not letting me in, or you're hiding something. And, sometimes those discussions lead to the truth, and sometimes that person actually surprises you, and there's something very logical going on. So don't come in hot. Always give people the opportunity, but I feel like you're being nudged to ask yourself why you're hesitating, and not to project, and to give people a chance, including yourself. You can grow from this, and you can be stronger, and you can have good love again. You can't harp yourself for past mistakes, and you can't beat yourself up for why things fade away, because whatever is meant for you will never fade away, ever. It will always exist, and you will always want to work on it, and that person will always want to work on it with you. What is meant will stay. What is not will always fade away. It's not your fault. It was just a chapter in your book. So stop berating yourself and stop expecting everybody to do the same to you. You're going to be okay.